So, in the upcoming days, one of Boris Johnson's big, and I mean big, manifesto promises to try and level up the North. Again, what exactly this means, we don't know. All we know is that the North is going to get more money. And it is going to be handed out, most likely, hopefully, we would hope, to local councils and maybe even mayors so that this can be distributed around the regions. Well, that's what we'd hope for. However, given the Tories' track record, most likely, probably not going to happen. See, at the moment, the North in particular, this is the north of England, is really being absolutely taking an absolute deluge of damage from COVID-19. We've got businesses that are literally on the brink. Some of them new, yes, and it's sort of understandable, from a new business perspective, but we've got businesses, and some even hotels, that were literally like, we have 3 weeks left of money, what are we going to do? And that has been the awful position some of these businesses have been in. Now, luckily, of course, the furlough scheme got reintroduced and extended till March, which has saved a lot of companies. But this doesn't really address the underlying problem that the region itself needs a whole lot of investing in. And the main promise of Boris was to a reason, ultimately, a lot of these people who voted Conservative, many for the first time, ultimately for the idea of that Brexit was going to be get done, and not only that, the North is going to get levelled up. Ooh, fantastic. Well, this has a lot, and I mean a lot, of what are now being dubbed blue wall Conservatives, who got voted in for the first time in these northern seats, and are now looking really bad, because they're the ones in charge, they're the ones in power, and once again, the North is being ignored, which is, again, a typical Tory tactic. So this idea that the North is going to get levelled up is in no way going to happen. I would be very surprised if it did happen. If it does happen, we ain't going to get the money that the North desperately needs to actually really and truly get levelled up and get some proper investment in the North. Now, this comes, of course, from the spending review, which is starting today. Although shall I say it this week, because I think it's going out tomorrow. But yeah, so this we'll see for how much money we'll get and what is exactly going to be in it. So this actually comes from Politics Home, which is sort of like our news site that MPs can use, and they very often do put up blogs and things like that. Some are good, some are meh, some are downright hilarious. But this one I think is quite important. So this is from Politics Home, and it's from my own MP, Dan Jarvis, which is why we're doing it. So the title is, "If the spending review lacks ambition, we will miss a vital opportunity to level up the North." So the brutal reality is that the North is on a course for levelling down, not levelling up. COVID-19 must not be an excuse to delay the transformative investment needed to level up. So debate about levelling up takes place amid an unprecedented economic crisis facing the whole country. COVID-19 has reinforced an argument that was already undeniable, that we need to level up the North, not just a tinkering at the margins, but a full-scale transformation. To end an act of national self-harm, the question now is whether the government will make it happen. And here, you'll notice Dan Jarvis said there, and to end an act of national self-harm. He's referring to Brexit. Again, as we said at the beginning there, Brexit is going to ultimately damage the North in so many ways. And even if we do get this investment, might stave off it for a while, but not completely. Anyway, he continues. COVID has hit the North and our economy hard. In South Yorkshire, the level of people claiming unemployment-related benefits is now higher than any time since the mid-1990s. when we were still in the aftermath of the pit closures. The brutal reality is that the North is now on course for levelling down, not levelling up. However, we can create a better economy, not just for our region, but for the whole of the UK. As the only MP with the unusual privilege of also being Mayor of an English region, I know firsthand how we can deliver. Since my election in 2018, we've created or protected over 15,000 jobs. Our pioneering Working Win programme has helped over 6,000 people who want to get back into work. We have leveraged over 390 million of investment and unlocked more than 100 million for just regeneration. We've also committed at least 5.5 million of our own funds to kickstart 9 flood prevention projects, because you may remember the floods of last year. A lot of people are actually still not back in their homes. Anyway, he continues. We're putting our skin in the game and laying down a challenge for the government to do their part, rather than waiting for them to take the initiative. I can safely say we stand ready to be levelled up. I know my counterparts across the North would say the same. What we are asking for is the tools and funds to get on with the job. We've not had them yet, aside from the Towns Fund, a one-off payment spread across the whole country. The overall picture is one of just tinkering, not transforming. And that's what the Conservatives are basically known to do. They like to tinker, but not actually put enough money into these places to actually truly get a proper transformation out of them. So that moment of change is this spending review. In this current crisis, it's understandable that the government are carrying out a modest one-year review. But that must not become an excuse to delay the transformative investment we need if levelling up is to really mean something. The key concern is that the spending review lacks the real ambition, something shared by 55 Conservative MPs who wrote to the Prime Minister just last month. And this is one of the quotes that they came from. This is not about making the northern economy bigger, it's about making it better. And here's the thing, their re-election relies on Boris Johnson doing this. And if Boris Johnson fails to deliver, as we have seen throughout this entire pandemic, of all these blue wall Conservatives getting hit by a wave of all the people complaining about what you did to my kids' GCSE results and A-level results, what they, the hammering they took from the voting against, feeding school children during the summer and over Christmas. Now that's been U-turned. Why didn't they vote for it in the first place? But there you go. And they've been hammered through other various things. Not only that, but they were elected to get Brexit done. And sooner or later, especially in the coming years, that they are going to be there. They are going to have to explain why Brexit hasn't made these people's lives better. And as we've said before, Brexit does not make anyone's life in this United Kingdom any way better, in any way, shape or form. It will make it worse. So anyway, continues. But we need action in 3 areas to shift the dial. The first, the government must extend the Local Growth Fund, which expires in March. The Local Growth Fund has been absolutely critical in unlocking jobs, investment and regeneration. But a simple rollover will only be enough to stand still. An indication of what we need is that UK's 2070 Commission's recommendation to triple the new Shared Prosperity Fund from 15 billion a year for over 20 years to a total of over 200 billion for the new funding. That shows the scale of ambition that we should be taking to create a new deal for the North. Second, we must invest in transport. The Northern Powerhouse Rail is often presented as the infrastructure heart of levelling up. But there are growing fears of critical parts of it, like the Sheffield to Leeds, could be delayed along with the northeast leg of the HS2. It's hard to overstate how damaging that would be for levelling up of our economy. And the third, The government should make some critical structural changes, reforming the Green Book to reduce the bias towards rich areas in government investment decisions, and finally following through on proposals to move significant parts of the civil service. All of this is not just about making the North economy bigger, it's about making it better. My ambition is for the North to be stronger, greener and fairer. That should be our aim for the whole of the UK, not just to help unleash our potential, but to help address the disillusionment and division that is growing across our country, which threatens to break it up. We are now at a moment of crisis and of opportunity. I cannot believe this country or this government has forgotten its ambition that it would and that they would accept the waste of inequality and division we now see. But if we are to end it, then the moment to act is now. I support Dan Jarvis in that statement, but you're talking to Boris Johnson, the Conservatives. To quote one of the spitting images of the Halloween episode of where they raise the spirit of Margaret Thatcher back from the dead, and they're talking about what should we do about the North, and she just turns around and just goes, abolish it. And I'm just like, well, that spitting image definitely got that true. I hold out very, very little hope that the Conservatives are actually going to invest in the North. And like I say, a lot of these blue wall Conservatives, their re-election essentially pretty much rests on them actually not being able to, screw up for the next until the next general election in 24. However, that has already been pretty much shot from the word go due to the COVID crisis, the GCSE crisis, the not feeding, kids crisis. This will carry over. And trust me, when Brexit happens next year, they're going to have to do a lot, and I mean a lot of explaining to try and find ways to prove that Brexit is somehow a success, when from all, reports that we have seen, that ain't going to be the case at all. So with that, thanks for watching. If you'd like to support the channel in a way, please do head down to my links down below with a Patreon link and a one-off donation link. And do can't remember now. Do hit that like and share button. I forgot what I was going to say then. But thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.